second I got off the plane, I saw a man in a cowboy hat, and I was so excited. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz. If you haven't been here before, I like to vlog about lifestyle, simple life tips, mental health, all kinds of things. And today I'm going to be talking about a solo trip that I took to Texas. This trip actually happened 2 months ago at this point. I went to Texas over Halloween weekend. It is now Christmas, but life got away from me. Took me a while to edit this video, and I realized there were some parts where I needed to kind of pop in and explain what was going on. So I have filmed that, and now you're gonna get a full Texas vlog. I planned this solo trip to Texas because I was just itching to travel somewhere. I think for the past several years, every time I traveled, I would travel to Florida because I used to live in Pennsylvania, and I would just go to Florida to escape the cold. But now I live in Florida, so now I feel like, oh, I live here, so I can use travel time to go other places other than Florida. So I just kind of picked Texas randomly. I just have always wanted to go. I heard it's great, and I'd never been on a solo trip before, and I just really wanted to see what that felt like. And I also had a lot of hotel night certificates from different credit cards that I had that were all expiring at the end of the year. So I wanted to use those. I wanted to do something fun. Every hotel that you will see in this vlog was a free stay covered by certificates or hotel points. It was all free, which made this trip much easier. I also had airline miles, so I used that for my flight. So just all the pieces were aligning for me to travel somewhere, and Texas just spoke to me. I can't say why. I just thought, hey, why not Texas? For my Texas trip, I flew into Dallas, and then I rented a car and did a bit of a road trip around to different cities. So I started in Dallas, then I went to Waco, then Austin, then Lake Travis, then Fort Worth, and then back to Dallas for my flight home. All in all, I had such a great time, and I can't wait for you guys to see what I did on my solo trip. I will be popping in and out of this video to explain some of the things that I am doing and seeing. The first part of my trip was, of course, travel. I took Southwest and traveled from Fort Myers to Dallas. Hello, first check-in from my solo trip. I made it to the same airport that I never even left. Yay! My flight was delayed by over 5 hours. That's lightning. That's why it was delayed, and is not getting into Dallas until 1 a.m. And so I just said, not gonna do it. So I'm posting up at a hotel here in Florida near the airport, and I'm gonna take a 7 a.m. flight, which I said I would never do again in my life, but I'm gonna do it. And that's thunder, so I'm gonna get undercover because I'm scared for my life. Off to a stormy start, if you will. Hello, I'm at the hotel in Florida near the airport. I just took a shower, and I was able to cancel my original hotel reservation, which I had booked with points, and they actually gave me my points back, which I am very surprised by. And then I was able to move my rental car pickup to tomorrow morning. They did charge me more for that, which is super annoying, but it's what needs to be done. I had a moment where I was like, should I just cancel this whole thing and just like spend these days off on the beach instead? But I'm not doing that. I am persevering with this trip as long as I make my early morning flight, and I will update you on how it goes. I made it to Dallas, and I just picked up my rental car. Everything went smoothly, which is great. The second I got off the plane, I saw a man in a cowboy hat, and I was so excited. And I just saw another one, so current cowboy hat count is 2. I will keep you posted. Hello, I am at Pioneer Plaza in Dallas, where they have all these cool statues of cows. It's super windy today, as you can tell. And I did just drop my phone into this little creek that's here. So that was a fun moment, but it survived, so we're good. And I've already been propositioned for money. So we're off to a good start here, but look how cool this is. I am at the Ronald C. Kirk Pedestrian Bridge. You can see it here. Apparently this is iconic. I have to say I am the only human here, so not sure how iconic it could be when I'm here alone. Kind of thought this might be more interesting. It is not. It's also in kind of a sketchy area. There are like bail bond shops all around, so I'm just gonna take a quick pic and then be on my way. But here it is. Ta-da! Dallas! Once I was done exploring Dallas, I hopped in the car and road trip to Waco, Texas. It was about maybe a 2.5 hour drive from Dallas to Waco, and I checked into my hotel. It was an Aloft hotel or Aloft hotel. I don't know how you say it. It was really cool and trendy, I guess, because it was in a college town. And I'll show you a little bit of what the lobby looked like. And the room was all very colorful. Look how funky this hotel is. It's got very like millennial vibes. Okay, so you walk in, here's the bathroom, pretty sweet. Closet, yeah. I'm just obsessed with the colors. It's very cool. Oh, and then they have the Baylor Stadium up there. I can't imagine ever sitting in that beanbag. Really grosses me out, but cute idea. Very cute idea. After I checked into my hotel, I went to the Fabled Magnolia Farms. If you're familiar with HGTV, Chip and Joanna Gaines, this is their business that they started in Waco and kind of where all the magic happens. Every year at Magnolia, they have an event called Silobration. Get it? It's like celebration, but with the silos that are there. Yeah, clever. Basically, they have food trucks, they have street vendors selling different things, a little market, live music, all kinds of fun stuff. And when I had originally booked my trip, they also had live concerts happening in the evening, one of which was one of my all-time favorite artists, Ben Rector. And part of why I chose this weekend as the weekend to go to Texas is because he was supposed to be performing at Silobration. Unfortunately, that concert was canceled, I guess due to COVID, which doesn't really make sense because it was an outdoor concert and that was not a time when COVID was high. So I don't know, it seems like there was something shady going on that wasn't that. So I was pretty disappointed that concert wasn't happening, but I still went and checked out Silobration. I just kind of walked around Magnolia and took it all in. Also, I got there around 4 and all the food trucks were closing at 4, which I don't understand why the food trucks would close before dinner time when the event went until like 8 o'clock at night. Very bizarre, and I almost got super hangry, but I found one food truck that was still open that had dumplings, so that is what I ate. I listened to some music, I calmed down my hanger, and I just took it all in. If you tell them to be calm and be still, they have no other choice. I just walked back from Magnolia to my hotel. It was like a 15-minute walk, which was interesting. I would say Waco is a little down on its luck, just a little bit. Not much else going on other than Magnolia. And now I think I'm just gonna like chill, veg at the hotel, lay horizontal until I fall asleep. That evening, I went back to the hotel and then I was on Instagram and saw that this influencer I follow who goes to Baylor University was going to a Halloween event at Baylor. And I thought, well, what if I just go to this event? Not to like stalk that influencer, but just because I was like, maybe there's free candy. And like, I'm not doing anything else. And it seems like it's just on like on their campus out on the lawn. And I'm 30, but I could definitely pass as a college student. So then I went and wandered around this college Halloween event. And I felt like I was celebrating Halloween. It was really cute. They had all these different booths, candy. It was great. party, I went back to my hotel room and went to sleep immediately. And then I woke up the next morning and went to breakfast at a place called the Olive Branch. There are not many restaurants in Waco. There was like one little section of kind of trendy looking stores and maybe 2 or 3 restaurants. And the Olive Branch was one of those. And I had what was probably the best omelet of my entire life. I'm not even kidding you. I do not know what was in this omelet. It was so good. After I finished breakfast, I then went and explored the Baylor campus. Happy Saturday! Coming to you live from Baylor University here in Waco, Texas. Whenever my dad goes on a road trip, he stops and looks at colleges along the way. So I was like, what the heck? I'll just do that. So this is for you, Dad. Here's Baylor University. Beautiful campus, like everything is modern and new and just gorgeous. Not a lot going on in the town, but there are some shops and stuff now. It is a game day, I guess. There's like a football game. So everything's like blocked off. So not the best day to visit, but great school. Go Bears. Once I was done in Waco, which there was not much to see, so I was done pretty soon, I hopped back in the car and drove down to Austin, which I think was maybe a 3-hour drive. And on my way to Austin, I had put in Google Maps for an In-N-Out because I have never been to In-N-Out. They are mostly on the West Coast and then randomly in Texas. And I knew I wanted to try In-N-Out, so I stopped on the way. It was so delicious, y'all. It was so good. Time for another first. I am at In-N-Out. Never been here before. You can see they have palm trees, some cactuses. I feel like I'm in California, I guess. I also feel a little bit like I'm in Florida, but there it is. And I just got my order. I got a hamburger, French fries, and a strawberry lemonade. I am so excited to try this. How good does this look? Yes. 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 Excited. I also stopped on my road trip to Austin at a place called Buc-ee's, which is a magical land that is both gas station, convenience store, grocery store, clothing store, merchandise store. There's just so much going on there. I have heard a lot about this place. Apparently it's a Texas staple, so gonna go in, check it out, see what I find. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened to me in that store. I was like possessed for a moment. There was so much stuff, like Buc-ee's jelly beans, peanuts, hot sauces, merch, apparel, shirts, clothing, sandwiches, a beef jerky station. It was crazy. And I found myself walking towards the checkout with 2 pieces of clothing, like Buc-ee's merchandise. And then I suddenly was like, wait, this is the only time I've ever been here, probably the only time I'll ever be here. Why am I buying merch for this store? And I put it back. I don't know what happened. I was possessed in there. That's it. Otherwise unscathed at Buc-ee's. Once I had escaped Buc-ee's, I kept going on to Austin, and I actually stopped in at the University of Texas at Austin and walked around a little bit, and I actually also joined a campus tour. It was an open house day at the college campus, and once again, I can pass for a college student or a high schooler, depending on the day. So I just hopped on a tour and I learned all about the campus. It was great. Look at all of this beautiful foliage. Now this feels like Texas. Then I parked downtown and walked around the main streets of Austin. Specifically, I think it was 6th Street. That's where like all the bars and restaurants are. I personally don't go to bars, so that wasn't really my scene, but I did stop at a delicious donut shop. Of course, being a blogger, I needed to make sure I got some mural pics in Austin. So I had previously done a search for the best murals in Austin, and I went and found them and took pictures in front of them. And that's kind of how I spent a good chunk of the afternoon, which I thought was super fun. And it led me into different areas of the city as well. Then I checked into my hotel, which was slightly outside of Austin, which is how it was a little cheaper and I could use my reward certificate for it. It was still only like a 15-minute drive into Austin, so I didn't mind at all. I also like things to be quiet, so I did not want to stay like in the heart of the city. Here's my Residence Inn in Austin. Pretty typical, but pretty new and modern, just like many things in Austin seem to be. Looks good. The other thing I really wanted to do in Austin was the bat watching. So there's a bridge called the Congress Avenue Bridge where every night at sunset, thousands, tens of thousands of bats fly out from under this bridge at sunset. And I love sunsets. I love animals. I think bats are so cool. So I knew I wanted to go to this. So I went and camped out at this bridge for probably about an hour because I didn't realize what time the bats would come out, and there was a whole crowd there of people waiting for the bats to come out at sunset. And when the bats came out, it was so cool. It was like an endless stream of them for at least 15 minutes, and then I was like, okay, I've had enough and I'm hungry, and I left. But it was just constant bats. It was super cool. If you're in Austin, I totally recommend doing that. It's free. You just go to the park or the bridge and you sit there or stand there and you just wait and watch. After I had seen the bats, I then was really hungry, and I was originally just gonna pick up some food and eat it in my hotel, but I was like, you know what? I'm in Austin. Let's like do something in the city. So I went back and parked downtown at 6th Street again. And I took myself to a restaurant called the Iron Cactus, and I had a very delicious salad there. I also tried to socialize with the table next to me and kind of got rebuffed, but I tried, and that's what's important. All of the food I had in Texas was so good, so good. Then I went back to my hotel and went to sleep. I'm exhausted, and I cannot tell you, my shoulder blades in the back are in excruciating pain from driving, like really, really bad. So I'm just gonna lay in bed for like an hour and then go to sleep. It's 9 o'clock, but it feels like midnight. But it was cool to see downtown, and tomorrow I have more of like a country day, so I'm really excited for that. Doing a little city in the morning and then country in the evening. See you then.